it's currently April 2026 and summer is around the corner. I don't know where this year has gone so far, but I've given myself a 6-week time frame to get as snatched as possible because we are going to Ibiza at the end of May and I have not looked in enough. But we could all look in together and look as snatched and sexy in our bikinis this year together. In today's video, I'm going to share with you everything I'm going to be doing over the next 6 weeks to get into optimal shape. My workout splits, my nutrition, my daily habits, my mindset shifts. Context, I'm a very busy girl with a very tight schedule. I'm constantly working or constantly have plans in the diary. So it's really important that everything I do aligns with my lifestyle so that it's not an extra burden and I don't feel really overwhelmed, get demotivated, end up being really inconsistent. Which means structure is the first thing that we're going to talk about, because if you don't have a structure in place and you don't have a solid routine, you're not going to stick to things after your motivation wears off. Motivation usually will wear off within the first week or two. Usually the first few days you're really hyped and it's all new and it's exciting, but then real life sets in, the results don't happen instantly and people start to fall off the wagon and they just say next year. We need to make sure that doesn't happen because we have a 6-week time frame. So we are on a tight schedule, and if you're a busy person too, then this will work for you perfectly. If you are new here, my name's Abby Gibson. I share fitness, confidence and self-improvement, help women build their dream life. Enough yapping, we're gonna just get straight into it. So the first thing is consistency. It is so important that we are consistent more than anything else. It's more important than 90% of the other things we're going to talk about. You're not going to see any real results if you're inconsistent. So if you're going really hard for 1 or 2 days and then you do absolutely nothing for the rest of the week, the results you're going to see is so minimal, especially in 6 weeks. 6 weeks is a nice amount of time, which is why I've started now. Longer than 6 weeks, I feel like it seems too far away to be overly motivated, and anything that's much before 6 weeks is too much pressure and it's trying to cram too much in. Regardless of the time frame, there are going to be points in which you do not feel motivated, and like I said before, the first week you might be really hyped and excited, but at some point that is going to dip. It's normal, we're human beings and life just gets in the way sometimes. This is why I'm talking about routine. It needs to be something that feels easy and effortless. So even when you can't be bothered and you are not motivated in the slightest, you still get it done. Another reason is if you don't have a routine and you are solely focusing on your motivation, you are relying on your emotions, which are extremely volatile, and your emotions are going to vary minute to minute, hour to hour. One day you're really tired or had a really stressful long day. The last thing you are going to want to do is go to the gym or go and eat a salad. You are going to look for comfort food and you're probably going to get straight into bed with a tub of ice cream. So what can you actually do to be consistent? Because it's very nice saying it, but how do you make a structure? Slot every single session into my calendar for the week. I am going to do this for the next 6 weeks. I'm going to just sit and block out all 6 weeks straight, because then it's done. I'm not doing it on a weekly basis. I put them in my calendar as if it's a meeting or an event that I would do on a daily basis. A specific colour for it in my diary. I put the days and the exact times I'm going to be doing it. That's really key. Don't just write it in for the day. Write in the time frame that you're going to be doing it in. And also exactly what it is that you're going to be training, which we're going to go through all of that in a moment. I'm going to talk you through what workouts to do. But before that part, you need to make sure you have that in your diary with the day and the exact times. Again, that might be different on a day-to-day. If you can keep your schedule the same and you can go at, I don't know, 6 a.m. every morning, then great, even better. If you are a little bit more like myself, who I just constantly am running on time, so I have to slot it in between clients and meetings. So one day I might be training at 4 in the afternoon, the next I might be training at 9 in the morning. It does differ, but it works for me because I plan everything out. And another really key thing is, as much as I will schedule my workouts, I will always schedule in my rest. It's just as important. So you're not going to be training every single day for the next 6 weeks. Body needs time to rest, recover, and that's when muscle growth happens. So if you want to look toned and sexy, then chances are, to get that sculpted look, you need to be building muscle and burning fat. And part of building muscle means you need to let your muscles rest so that they can grow. Probably still go on a walk or do some stretching just because I like to stay moving, but I'm purposely not going to the gym, even if I feel like I can, because I need to rest. I also use this as my sort of reset self-care day, so I get things done that I might not have a chance to do during the week. I do my Sunday reset, so I'll prep my food, do my food shop, clean my room. The amount of rest days that you pick is up to you, but I'm going to talk you through the structure that I'm using in a moment, so I'd recommend using the same. I'm going to show you an example. So I will always have a colour, so ignore the schedule, but there'll always be like my colour in there for the day. So for a Monday, I will train at 4:30, let's say. So now you know when you're training and what you're doing, you have no excuse. Let's go on to the second thing and talking about our workout routines. I'm going to tell you the split that I'm following. This is based on my goals and wanting to look as snatched as possible. I'm doing 6 days a week, which I know is a lot, and that might not work for everybody, and that is fine. You don't need to be doing 6 days, but I naturally would always do 5, and I am trying to increase the intensity a little bit, so that's why I'm pushing to 6. Monday is always a glutes and hammies session. Tuesday is a sprints and full upper body day. Wednesday is my full leg day. Thursday is cardio and abs. Friday is a full body day, and Saturday is an athletic leg day. My cardio and abs day is kind of like an active rest day, so I am working out, but it's not that intense. It's more about just keeping the habit up. It does give me a little bit of a midweek break because it's a lot lower intensity. I would recommend having one of those days in your routine because they're still very effective. You're burning a lot of calories, you're breaking a sweat, but you don't need tons of time, and it's not really intense and gonna take a lot out of you. My workouts are hypertrophy focused, which means muscle building is the primary goal. I do have 2 athletic style days in my routine. It isn't essential for muscle building, it's more for physical fitness and performance. As much as this style of training isn't as aesthetic focused, I've actually found that since adding it into my routine, which has been almost a year now, the results are insane. You naturally burn lots of calories, you sweat a lot, and you kind of train your entire body without even trying to. If this isn't your goal and you want to stick to hypertrophy training, then that's absolutely fine. You will see results in that way. I have another video which I posted recently about my current week of workouts. I'll show you what I do in detail, exercises, reps, sets, form. You should check that out. Third thing I'm doing is looking at my nutrition. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. You could do the exact routine that I'm doing or more, but if you aren't eating well, it's gonna make no difference. I promise. You can be training 7 days a week, and if you're going home and eating pizza every single night and just not eating well, you're not going to see the change that you want to, and you are not going to be looking snatched in a bikini. So just like scheduling my workouts, I will also plan my food. Just like exercise, if you do not plan and organise your food, you will end up convenience eating, so picking up whatever in sight based on how you feel or where you are, and probably end up with a Tesco meal deal for lunch every day. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind a Tesco meal deal, but every single day. I used to meal prep a lot, then I ended up stopping for a little bit because I just didn't have the time and I was a little bit all over the place. It's no coincidence that the moment I stopped meal prepping, I started getting a Subway multiple times a week because there's one right opposite where I work. It's not the worst option that you could get. It's still not great to be having all the time. If I had meal prepped, I would have eaten better, I would have saved myself money. And another thing which no one else talks about enough is energy. I would have had so much more energy. It is no coincidence that when I was eating a Subway for lunch, my energy would just dip because I'd be eating quite a lot of carbs and then they'd wear off and it would get to 3, 4, 5 p.m. and I would just crash. And when you're working till 7, 8 p.m, it is rough. The reason that I meal prep the way I do and my lunch never really contains carbs, it's very protein and veggie focused for that reason. Let's go through the plan of action for food. Number 1, planning my meals each week in advance. I choose 2 lunches to rotate between. I buy the ingredients and I'll prep it on a Sunday for that week. This is usually my low carb meal, so I will normally have chicken breast or chicken thighs with some form of veggies. I really like the char grilled vegetables that you can get in Tesco's, and you can just air fry them. It's so quick and easy. and then I'll just marinate the chicken to spice it up a little bit. So I might use like a Nando's seasoning or like a Chinese style one, but that's kind of where my flavour and excitement comes from. Or I'll have some form of chilli without the rice. They are so simple and quick to make, and they're so easy to bulk. To be fair, all my meals are very similar. I usually rotate between the two same breakfasts as well, which ends up being some form of yogurt bowl or a bagel with eggs and turkey bacon, or cream cheese and salmon and avocado. My dinner is usually cooked for me because I work late. I will just pick my portions. So I will probably eat a bit more carb in the evening, but again, I will pick how much. So I still have some form of control. So if you aren't cooking all of your meals, that's still not a problem. As long as you can control the serving size, that's fine. Number 2, planning my snacks. It's probably more important than meals because I find that's a lot of people's downfall. A lot of my clients, when they're struggling with food, the first thing we end up fixing is the snacking habits rather than the actual meals. It's usually some fruit and a protein cookie, veggies and hummus, peanut butter and apple, rice cakes and almond butter and banana. I will never eat random snacks off the whim. So I won't just go and get a biscuit. Always make sure that the snacks I'm eating I've prepped and they're ready for me to just eat. So even if I'm really hungry one day, maybe I will eat a couple more, but it will still be within that range. Number 3 is keeping water on me all of the time. I drink so much more unconsciously when it's just there. When I have to go out of my way to drink water, I don't drink enough water, especially because I'm busy all day. And the more water you drink, the less hungry you are as well, because a lot of the time when you think you're hungry, you're just dehydrated. The 4th thing I'm doing is being strategic with my sugar cravings. Not that I will never eat sugar or sweets, because again, that's not sustainable and I wouldn't preach it. However, you can work smarter rather than harder. In the morning, I will always have a coffee with my 0-calorie syrup. Not saying it's the healthiest thing in the world, but I am saying it's lower in calorie, it quenches that craving, and I don't find that throughout the day I'm looking for things to snack on that are sweet. I don't track calories. I have on and off over the years, but I just find it very tedious and I never manage to stick it long term. I prefer the method that I use, which is just planning and being smart with what I'm eating. I make sure that I'm enjoying it and they are healthy foods. It's more intuitive and it's focused on the actual portion size and the quality of food rather than the quantity. You can work out if you're eating the right things based on your body. Your body will tell you if what you're eating agrees with you or not. There'll be signs, your energy, your mood, your workout performance, your skin, bloating, digestive issues, appetite. I could go on, but your body will tell you if the food you're eating is good food or not. I will always get my protein in without fail. I make sure to be eating a protein source with every meal and snack, and usually it's about 20 to 30 grams per meal/snack. So I am getting around 130, 140 grams of protein per day on average. And more than anything, enjoyable food. I love eating, and if I forced myself to eat plain, boring food, I would be so miserable. I'd probably lose my personality. So the number 1 thing for me is that I'm enjoying it. I will never get on the bandwagon of plain chicken and rice. I don't agree with it. I think it might work, but I think it's boring. You should be liking how you eat. It's something everybody has to do without fail, so you might as well enjoy it. Thing we're doing to get shredded in 6 weeks. So we've gone through consistency and structure, the workouts, the nutrition. Now we're going to talk about daily habits. Habit 1 is 2 to 3 litres of water per day. 2 is getting in some form of movement every day, even on a rest day. Go for a walk, do some stretching, move your body, try not to just sit in bed and rot. Not even for the physical side of things, but more for the mental side of things. The more you start to work out, you find how good it is for your mental well-being, and it gets to a point where you're like, oh my god, I feel like I just need to move. Bit 3 is the 20-minute timer rule. This saved me with food. I'm a girl who loves to eat and could probably out-eat a grown man, eat all day long, and never get bored of it and never get full up. My appetite is just insane. So what I find is when I start eating, because I'm always hungry, I will just keep eating. After every meal, I put a 20-minute timer on my phone and I will not eat for 20 minutes. And usually after that point, I'm not actually hungry anymore because my hunger hormone has suppressed, and hormone that's responsible for making you feel full, leptin, is usually released into the blood, which then makes you feel like you're not hungry anymore. 4 is tracking. This isn't really a daily habit, this is more of a consistent habit, but tracking every week for 6 weeks. Usually with my clients, I get them to track every month or every fortnight, but because this is only a 6-week time frame, you might as well just do it every single week. And that's going to be photos so you can physically see a difference. If you care about your actual weight, which I don't, but you might, it would be standing on the scales and doing your weight. Smart scale, which is what I use. You can look at your muscle mass and your body fat, any other form of measurements you can do. So I'll use a tape measure. I'm going to be on it with my scale, photos and measurements every single week, same time, same day. That's so key. Also do this even if you don't feel like you're seeing a change, because if you feel like nothing's working, you can change something. The most important habit is keeping myself going. I end up going off plan, missing a workout, not eating the right meal, which in 6 weeks is probably bound to happen at some point, and that's okay. You're a human being, life gets in the way, things take priority. The most important thing in that situation is that you pick up and you carry on. You'll never go full self-sabotage mode and be like, oh, I had a pizza today, fuck it, I'm just gonna start again tomorrow. No, I'll eat my pizza, I'll enjoy my pizza, and then I'll go on with my day. So to keep me going, I will create a feed that inspires me. The key in consumption is not following or looking at people on a surface level. So it's not about how they look, but more the way they think, what they teach you, the lifestyle that they have, and the messages they're trying to send. Because when you just follow loads of girls that have your dream body, you will probably compare yourself to them and get really demotivated. But if you are following people that actually inspire you, and after watching it you're like, yeah, I want to be like that, I want my life to look like that, and you feel refreshed, then it's the right things that you're watching. I find Pinterest and Substack are the best things for that, not really TikTok or Instagram. So I have loads of motivational videos I watch on YouTube that are just nice to stick on in the morning whilst I'm getting ready, and they just set me up for the day, they ignite that fire, and I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. This is so good, by the way. I bought this matcha in Sainsbury's. It's a ready-made carton and it's coconut matcha. It is so good, and I don't know if you saw earlier, but I had like the foam on it. I just made some banana bread syrup, put it on top, and oh my god, it was so good. But anyway, that is everything I'm doing over the next 6 weeks to get as bikini ready as possible. I am planning to vlog some of the next couple of weeks to show you guys what I'm doing on a day-to-day, and also to keep myself accountable. I am starting tomorrow, so it's currently Sunday, and tomorrow is when everything's gonna start. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna be kind to myself, but I'm also very motivated. And I'm really excited to film this and show you guys as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I definitely enjoyed talking about this one. I've been so excited about this. So the sun's out and it's just time. As always, I'm so grateful for all of you. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next video.